Welcome to Let's Talk Lupus. It's vitally important for every lupus patient to understand what triggers their lupus and how stress affects it. And Dr. Peschken is here to discuss triggers and stress in this month's edition of Let's Talk Lupus.
Everyone who has lupus always wants to know what causes lupus, and that is not an easy question to answer. And the answer is probably different for each person who has lupus, and that is one of the reasons why lupus looks so different from one person to the next. In general, there is a genetic background that is required for lupus to develop. However, it's not the same genes for each person. There isn't a specific gene you have to get lupus, and there's no gene that we know of that definitely prevents lupus. It's a combination of different genes. They're not abnormal genes, they're just genes that dictate how your immune system responds to the world. And depending on your gene combination, that can make somebody more likely, more predisposed to lupus. But then other things have to come on top of that. Those are different environmental influences. And when we're talking environment, we're talking very broadly. We're talking everything that someone might be exposed to. So that can include infections are very important. Infections can trigger the immune system. These can be normal infections that most people get, but depending on your genetic background, that can turn your immune system on and trigger lupus. We do think some aspects of air pollution and environmental pollution can play a role, and certain behaviors like cigarette smoking is known to be a very strong trigger for lupus. Exercise, physical activity can play a role in a positive way. Diet is very difficult to study, but we are learning that your diet can play a role. And there again, it's your diet over years and years. It's not what you eat on one single day or one single month, but over long periods. And all of these things then come together. One big question that is often asked is, what about stress? We do know, and we are starting to understand the connection between stress in the immune system. There is no question that chronic severe stress is a trigger for lupus. We are able to demonstrate that in population studies, in group studies. We can't measure it in an individual yet, but we do know that stress very much plays a role both in triggering lupus and in making it worse and causing it to flare down the road. So stress management also becomes very important for people who have lupus.